Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Adam. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, whatever the case may be, tier list, rankings, reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. Now this is The Sword and the Stone, which, to be honest, is a film I'd never seen before. I had heard of it. I had seen this poster, this cover, quite a few times when I was a kid, but just never got to the point of seeing it. And to be honest, watching it, I didn't miss much. I know there are people that love this film, they're very nostalgic for this film, and if we're talking old Disney films, there are quite a few I remember liking. Snow White, Bambi, Dumbo. I don't mind 101 Dalmatians, Cinderella, for what they are. This one, though, just felt very, at least to me, inconsequential. It felt very much like filler. It felt like, I don't know if I want to say now a whole lot happened, but it kind of feels that way. Now, it's based on a T.H. White book. I never read the book, so I don't know how it is with the source material. It's about the King Arthur tale and getting the sword out of the stone, but at the end, that kind of almost becomes like an afterthought in a way. It also didn't help that the lead kid, Arthur, which they nicknamed Wart because of how small he is, how just distracting, I'm going to use that word a lot, distracting, his voice was, because it's three fucking voices. The first time we see him, because the setup is the king of England has died, there needs to be a new king. There's a sword and the stone. Whoever pulls it out will be the king. People have tried. No one succeeded. So we're now in a dark age. And we have Merlin, the magician. We got his owl, Archimedes. And we have this boy who's with his older, like, foster brother, step brother. It's not, I don't think blood brother, but just older brother, but not brother. They're out hunting. He makes a noise, steers the animal. The older says, go get that arrow. He does, and eventually meets Merlin. What's funny about the kid Arthur, though, is that when he's with his brother, or not brother, step brother, whatever the fuck brother, when he's with the fucking guy, it's one voice. It's a guy who's like, the voice is croaking, he sounds a lot older. But then when the kid meets Merlin, it's a completely different voice that sounds more like a boy. Because I guess what had happened was, the actor they hired went through puberty, so his voice started croaking, crackling, all that stuff. And I guess either someone decided, okay, here's my two boys. I think it was like the director or such, we're going to put them in there. And you could hear the fucking difference. So I'm trying to pay attention to this character, but now I'm paying attention, which fucking voice does he have now in this scene? Is it this voice? Is it this voice? Is it voice number 3? Tone number 3, my lord. And I'm sitting there going, why don't you just redo the whole fucking movie with one voice? I'm sure there was cutback of budget, because you tell like some of the animation is rehash animation where they take like older stuff. So like certain people doing certain moves, but then they reskin it, so to speak. They save a bit of money. But goddamn, like, this is your main character. It's very noticeable. Just take the one actor and revoice the whole film. You already have him voice some of it. Just voice the rest of it. Why not do that? Then it wouldn't be as distracting. Hell, I don't type it in here if people think I'm lying. You're not, I know, I'm just saying. No, not that. Delete. And no, not like Matt Hardy. No, don't say that either. The Sword in the Stone had 3 voices. Who are the 3 voices for the main character? Rickie Sorensen, Richard Reitherman, and Robert Reitherman. Rickie Sorensen initially voiced Arthur, but his voice changed during production, leading to the need for other voice actors. So then you have 2 brothers, Richard and Robert. And then it says here, there was budget cuts. Despite the success of 101 Dalmatians, Disney did not want to risk that much money on the film, severely trimmed the film's budget. Wow, someone eating a bit late a meat looks familiar. Because it appears in the film 3 times. I didn't even notice that. All this, like, budget cut shit that they did on it. Anyway. So to get that out of the way, I just had to bring that up and, just get out of my system. Because it was distracting. I couldn't help it. Then the rest of the story is just Merlin saying, hey, I'm going to tutor you, kid. Has to convince the guy taking care of Arthur. Eventually convinces him, fine, you to be his tutor. There's this tournament coming up. If you're the winner of the tournament, you become king. And then pretty much Merlin keeps turning Arthur into animals. And each time he turns into an animal, he's supposed to learn a lesson. So he turns the kid into a fish to learn how to swim. Because I guess that teaches about physics. But also about, it's up to you how far you go. Don't limit yourself. Don't give up. Brain over brawn. Because the kid has to use, as a fish, use his brains over a bigger fish. Then when he's back to being human, he's punished for something or other, has to go clean. Merlin helps him out. And then next turns into a squirrel. I don't know what the fuck the point of this was, other than a female squirrel sexually harasses our lead character, who's been turned into a squirrel. I'm talking about, like, he keeps saying no, and she's, like, grabbing him, and fucking da-da-da, and, like, fucking molesting the motherfucker. Molesting him, and doing all of this. You think Pepe Le Pew was a harasser? This squirrel takes the cake, and eat it too. I'm just saying, if it was reversed, if it was a guy doing this to a girl squirrel or not, it'd be the cops called. On the film. But she just manhandles him and sexually harasses him to the 10th power. And she's trying to tell her, I'm not a squirrel really, lady. And she won't have it and wants to fuck his brains out. The whole fucking thing is weird. And then even Merlin, who's a squirrel, this big fat squirrel wants to hump him. So apparently all squirrels or female squirrels are sluts. I guess that's the thing Disney teaches us. If you're a female squirrel, you're a slut. You see one male, you just want to fuck their brains out. Just like that. Which is weird also because Arthur's, 11 years old or so? 12 or something? See, it's not just now Disney weird shit. It's back then too. Like Ariel being like 15, 16, but letting her titties ready to pop out because all she has is seashells, and think about how she wants this guy's dick and wants some legs so she can spread them for this guy's dick. That's the Little Mermaid. And she's got crabs. Like an actual crab. Not, although maybe if she goes with him, she'll have other crabs too. Not just that crab. Anyway. And then at the end of it, they turn back into human, and the female squirrel cries. So you did all this, Merlin's, to break the squirrel's heart? And he goes, well, love is a funny thing, and what the fuck is that? Like, that's not going to teach the kid anything. Yeah, be a heartbreaker? Be a dick? You don't be breaking women's hearts. Better start now with a squirrel. And then at one point is turned to a bird, flies with Artemis the owl. They meet this Madame Mim, this evil witch. Merlin has his animal show off where Merlin and the evil witch keep turn to different animals. So Merlin will turn into an animal to escape this one, and they'll try to one-up each other. Like if she's an elephant, he'll turn to a mouse to steer the elephant. If stuck in the tree, Merlin will turn to a caterpillar. Or if the witch is stuck in the tree, Merlin will turn to a goat and ram it. Turn small to escape, turn big to sit on our face. Until eventually Merlin turns to germs. Actual germ warfare. And makes the lady sick. And then she gives up. Knowledge and wisdom is the real power. Granted, I don't know how this is going to teach Arthur, because unless he could turn to a fucking germ, I don't know how it's going to help him. Okay, the idea of knowledge and power are fine, but by turn to a fucking germ? Unless he's going to go find a lab and create germ warfare to put upon his enemies when he becomes teen, I don't know how that part's going to help him. And then a lot of it just feels like filler. Just here's some hijinks when he's a squirrel, and this female squirrel's ready to molest and sexually harass the kid. Again, the whole thing was weird to me. Or turn to a bird and chased by a witch. Turn to a fish and chased by other fish. A frog tries to fuck with them. Not fuck him, but, you know, although it's Disney, you never know how weird Disney shit is. And it just felt like, okay, here's some hijinks. Or Merlin thinks of a modern because he's been to the modern era, so he'll mention a helicopter or a motion picture, and the kid's like, what? Oh, yeah. You guys don't know that yet. Well, you're Marty McFly? But you just gonna love it. Can you go back in time? Back to the Future? Can we go Back to the Future, please? Can I watch Back to the Future, please, instead? I'll watch Back to the Future 3 over this. I was not a fan of this movie at all. It barely has songs. The songs that were there were very lackluster and forgettable. I don't see anyone remembering one damn song from this movie. The animation is a little bit on the cheap side, because again, there's certain bits they either reuse or they just redo. That was something they did in an earlier Disney film, because they want to cut the budget. Then the lead act did 3 fucking voices. So you play the game, which voice does he have in this scene? And there's no payoff. That's the biggest problem. All the stuff he learned, you think, okay, there's going to be some kind of way of him to use the stuff he's learned to help him in this situation. So maybe the tournament happens, and he uses all these things to overcome and overdo it and do what he's supposed to do, but then the higher-ups, they don't take him seriously, even though he proved it. And you have like one older, wise person going, that kid, there's something about that. This is unfair. That's bullshit. What this kid's doing, that's right. Yes, he's too young and this and that, but I know something about him. So when the kid does it, he comes up and goes, I should have known. It makes sense. All you people today, This is your teen and he earned it. Not just from his sword, but look what he did. He did this and outwitted you. He did this. And even though you're bigger and stronger, he beat you and he did this. But there's no payoff. You never see him use the stuff that he supposedly learned. Well, that'll be for later, but we never see any payoff. We never see him using what he learned from being a fish, or whatever the fuck he learned being a squirrel. That some female squirrel wanted to suck his dick. Did his nuts. But not the walnuts, the other nuts. There's no payoff for anything. There's not much action of like adventure style. This is a cartoony hijinks idea when probably the most interesting bit would be Merlin and the evil witch going back and forth using their magic against each other. That's about it. That's it. That's all there is. I didn't care for this at all. If you guys do, that's cool. It's not because it's Disney. Like I said, there's Disney films I liked. I mentioned some before. You know, Dumbo, Bambi, Cinderella, Snow White, The Lion King, Aladdin, the animated Mulan. I don't love every single one of them, but there's a good chunk of them I like. Hell, you know what? Let me look up. Come on. Give me a list of Disney animated films. Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia I have to rewatch because that one I saw when I was a kid. I thought it was boring, but at the same time, I didn't really get like what it was. So, Dumbo, Bambi. I don't mind Peter Pan. 101 Dalmatians. I like Beauty and the Beast. Aladdin's my favorite. I like The Lion King. Tarzan I really enjoyed. Lilo and Stitch, the original, I enjoyed. The first Wreck-It Ralph I didn't mind. Frozen I didn't mind. Zootopia I really enjoyed. Even not being a furry, I enjoyed it. Just the whole thing is, oh, you enjoy, you must be a furry. I mean, I like the Ninja Turtles, so I guess, I don't know if that makes me one, but I like Zootopia. That's why I'm curious about the sequel, unless they do a bunch of political shit with it. Finding Nemo, I enjoyed. Toy Story. Wall-E, I love. I mean, that's Pixar, to be fair, but not classic Disney, but there you go. So there's a chunk that I like. Just this one, I thought it was very boring. I thought it was very forgettable. I thought it was very, like, a lot of filler. There's no payoff for the lessons he learned. Some of the lessons I don't even get what he was supposed to learn. Again, the three lead voices for the same character, distracting. I know I'm repeating myself, but just sum up. Again, positives. It's short. It's a short film. The voices of like Merlin and the voice of the Owl Archimedes, those voices were fine. If you're a little kid, you may get some cuteness factor because of the animal hygiene stuff. I mean, the Merlin and evil witch bit battle of like which animal they're going to change into to try to screw over the other person. That was kind of interesting. That was probably the most interesting bit in the movie to me. But yeah, other than that, like I said, when he gets the sword, it's like, I don't have your sword. Let me. And he goes and he gets the sword, brings it back. Where'd you get this from? And like the guy's like, you piece of shit. Where you get the beat the fuck out? I got over there. Yeah, right. You full of shit, kid. Then each time he pulls literally when he pulls the sword, there's like a heavenly Then he puts it down, it's gone. Oh, picks up again. He's the king. And then Merlin makes a joke of, they don't make movies about it yet. I'm like, yeah, but most of them aren't good. I mean, maybe it's just me. There's not a lot of King Arthur. Well, Army of Darkness. There you go. There's my favorite. My favorite movie involving King Arthur is Army of Darkness. There you go. Need more Ash. Need more Evil Dead in it. So thanks for watching. Take care. If you like the film, that's fine. If there's a childhood favorite, that's fine. I didn't watch this as a kid, so I have no nostalgia for it. So my first time watch it, just my peace of mind. So we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.